And we're rolling. Hey everybody, it's your boy SergDragon. Welcome back to another edition of the Heavens Monsters podcast. With me always is Terrence, aka T-Money.
If you smell what the lion is cooking.
Today we are going to cover 205 Live and NXT on August 27th and 28th. So let's hit it off with 205. Courtesy of last week with the Captain's 10-man challenge survivor match, we would have the winning babyface team of Team Captain Oni Lorcan and the last pinfall done by Humberto. So Drake Maverick, current, might I add, 24/7 champion, didn't have to defend his title, I guess, because he has the perks of making it so nobody can get it. Just like Shane McMahon did for Elias. In which case, that said, Drake Maverick has a dilemma because he doesn't know that both of them, he doesn't know who to pick. Both of them do have the qualifications to fight Drake Maverick. Oni Lorcan saying he's not finished with Drew Gulak. Drake Maverick. He's not finished with Drew Gulak, and that both of them would qualify. When he said that, they said that we're going to both fight him, and he's had an alternative method. That tonight would be a one-on-one competition between Humberto and Oni Lorcan. Both of them, in both fairness, would say, may the best man win, and they shook on it. Before that night would end with that match, we would have another match between Arya Daivari and Kalisto. Arya Daivari successfully won that match without cheating. Well, no, never mind. He did cheat. He did. He was pulling on the mask and was able to have, while Kalisto was trying to fix his mask, he would actually grip his arms and clothesline him into 1, 2, 3. Ultimately, the two friends of Kalisto in the Lucha House Party would come to his aid in his defense, but sadly, Arya Daivari is still in the head of Lince Dorado, who says that he doesn't need them. Lince doesn't turn his back on his friends, but he's still giving him a chance to back off. And that would be the end of that match. Coming to the end, we would have Humberto Carrillo versus Oni Lorcan. In that match, it was a fantastic match. Spectacular. But only one could win, and it was surprisingly done by a move that when Oni Lorcan tried to get the half and half avalanche, meaning from the top rope, suplex, half Nelson as it's called also, because he does it from behind into the front. He actually didn't held on and ended up dropping in the ring. Not missing a beat, Humberto goes for a flip and manages to get to pinfall and is now number one contender for the Cruiserweight Championship. And in the monitor would be a slow clap. Go ahead and look up the 28th of NXT. Would be Drew Gulak, the current champ, hand clapping and congratulating his former student. Telling him that while he is happy that he won, he will not face the teacher he once knew. Even though at the time he wasn't really a good teacher. He was trying to take away his lucha heritage of lucha libre flying style, trying to make it just pure ground type. He was trying to learn both ground and high flying at the time, and it worked. But he was taking it too far. That's long history. With the new Drew Gulak, on the other hand, which is purely for himself, a better Drew Gulak, for a better champion, for a better 205 Live. It actually worked better than his PowerPoint presentation thing.
I never got him.
I know, me neither. But he is a damn good submission expert.
I always got Brian Kendrick, but not in Kalisto. I got him too, but sadly, I thought he was gonna make it to the top, but that didn't work.
I'm surprised my phone charger actually works for this little buddy right here.
They said they're gonna push him, they never did.
Before we kick off NXT, let's mention our boys. A shout out to our rest of the Heavens Monsters podcast crew. First up, Xavier Hill, Mike Henry, otherwise known as Mike Point H, and Andre Mitchell. A link to their 3 YouTube pages will be in the descriptions down below, as always, as well as, I keep forgetting to mention, my social media, all my social media links, and a remaining shout out to Renee, Farrell, Chris Petrie, and Delvin. With that said, let's kick it off with NXT. Looking forward to the 2-hour debut on USA Channel on September 18th. On Wednesdays. Ooh, this is going to be good. And then we'll have SmackDown move to Fox Sports Channel. Yeah. The next couple of weeks later.
On Fridays.
We start off the night with the heel, darker version of Io Shirai and her new iconic music. She would then take on Cammy Fields and defeats her quite easily and continuously beats her and shames her by actually going for a pinfall, but then picks her head up and then puts her in a submission and won't let go. We then have Candice LeRae, the wife of Johnny Gargano, who sadly I did not know, had said his goodbyes after NXT TakeOver Toronto. That was his last night. So now, where will he go? Will he show up on Raw? Will he show up on SmackDown? Or will he show up on 205 Live? I think he counts as that weight class.
What? If he's a cruiserweight, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or will he just do something else? I can't say for sure.
Maybe he's saying goodbye, because I know that someone said when wrestlers say goodbye, it has to do with an injury.
No, sometimes they say goodbye, they go to SmackDown, Raw, or NXT, one of the other branches of WWE, which is only of the 3. With that said, as I was saying, that's right, it would be Io Shirai who actually pulls out a kendo stick and gets dropped by Candice LeRae. She takes that kendo stick out of her hands from behind her. Then she goes for the swing. Io Shirai ducks, but didn't roll away fast enough. She gets 2 good hits before she gets away. That fight between them is far from over. Next, we have a match that has been put on probation, on hiatus, because of the fact of Dominic Dozovic's injury. Now that he's back, his first match would be the match he was supposed to have against the bask in his glory, the almighty Keith Lee. The guy I said that looks like you. Bask in his glory. Oh, basking. Oh, that's what his limit. What the late great Dusty Rhodes said to him, that he goes by limitless, for he is limitless. He's got his own music he sings for his entrance. Sadly to say, this match would turn heads on 2 big men, one tall, one heavy pounder, doing cruiserweight style, flying, flipping, kicking, windmill kicking, all sorts of stunts. It would be a finishing that no one saw coming. It would be Keith Lee who would get struck. Actually, before that, Keith Lee actually did a Spanish fly. You know what a Spanish fly suplex is?
I heard of it.
Basically, it's what happens when... Okay, ready? Okay, come at me. Like this. And he goes for this, and then he just flips you on your back with himself.
I thought it was just called like a
That's a Spanish fly. So basically, it's like this. You go, whee. 2 guys, and you go, yeah.
But he probably came up with that name for himself.
So basically, you end up landing on your back, but the guy gets you. You get him too. How you fuck?
But I'm saying this. he probably came up with that name from himself because no other wrestlers you call it that.
That's what's been called for quite some time, for several years. Spanish fly suplex, or something like that.
But they usually call it either a suplex or belly to belly suplex.
I remember the Spanish fly. That part I remember.
Yeah.
I don't know who originated that.
He probably called it that though.
No, not him. Not Keith Lee.
Oh.
That's with the commentators. Commentators definitely like calling it by the Pacific move, unless it's the move they call it.
Yeah.
Even John Morrison does this move. Not, aka Johnny Impact right now. He did that on the top rope though. Two big men. They are one is nearly 300 pounds. The other one is already past 300 pounds. Damn. I'm surprised the ring didn't implode when he did that. But that didn't put Dominic Dozovic away, in which case he kicked the hell out of him on top of the rope. He actually takes him while he's sitting on the top rope. Keith Lee flips him over onto his shoulders into a torture rack and does what can only be known by my standards, a reverse flip John Cena style, head hitting the knee into what is like a go to sleep, and he calls it feast your eyes.
The ring probably could explode as if you're like a big
If it wasn't supported.
No, I'm saying if
I
you're
bet they supported.
No, if you're big like
Those two are big.
no, I'm talking about like big like Big Daddy V.
Yeah.
Or a Big
One
Show.
skinny but tall, but muscular.
No, I'm talking about Big Daddy V or Big Show.
In which case, thanks to that feast his eyes special deadly finisher that a lot of people couldn't believe he got it. They were screaming at the top of their lungs when they saw him got over his shoulders. They were like, what the hell? What the hell? Feast your eyes, go, mamma mia! 1, 2, 3, that was it. And that would be a second loss to Keith Lee. His first loss would be to previously Damian Priest. Not a good look for Keith Lee. Yeah, like I said, we would have Johnny Gargano saying his goodbyes. And we would have Shane Thorne claim that Johnny Gargano is gone and done, that they should be talking about him. Next, we would, before she even uttered a word, she, along with her two horsewomen, would actually, I'm trying to get done quick, would be, Shayna Baszler would actually be interrupted by NXT UK's first ever,
Rhea Ripley.
No. NXT UK Women's Champion, Rhea Ripley, would actually get in her face, show up, shock the world, and actually say, I already know what you're going to say, that you've beaten everybody in this division, but you haven't beaten me. You haven't fought me yet, bitch. I was like, whoa! She got in her face. And that would be, it's going to be official. Two heels, but everybody is screaming, Rhea Ripley, because they want to see her win against Shayna Baszler, now that she said that. Next, we would have Pete Dunne say, I go where I want to, whenever I want to, courtesy of his loss, knowing that he should have won against Velveteen Dream and Roderick Strong. He had Roderick Strong, but Velveteen Dream stopped the hand of the referee because he knew he had it. So he's not done. He's far from it. Okay, here we go. Finally, it would be the match that was arguably faltered and needed to be redone. That would be the defending NXT Tag Team Champions, the Street Profits, versus the Undisputed Era's. Be right back. Finish this. With that said, also, back to it would be Street Profits versus Undisputed Era, Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish. Ultimately, it was one grueling match, ladies and gentlemen, but surprise, surprise, it would be spear to one member of Kyle O'Reilly, and then another spear, but he gets a knee shot to the face, knocking out one of the members of the Street Profits, the big guy, and coming from the top rope, the skinny member, I forgot their names, duly apologize, we're trying to make this quick, have no time to look it up, his ride's almost here, would come for a frog splash, and Kyle O'Reilly, everybody thought because of the spear he's knocked out, he rolls over, and no water in the pool, as they said, actually gets 1-2 high-low, freaking low kick to the head. And that would be what done in the Street Profits for the unexpected win. And new, first ever time in NXT history, 3-time winner tag team champions, the Undisputed Era. Damn. And they are gloating as hell. They are celebrating knowing that they got 3 golds around their belts, and they are looking, and even Roderick Strong is saying, I'm coming for you. Now, Roderick Strong needs to beat Velveteen Dream to get the North American champions for the Undisputed Era, prior to what Adam Cole said, that the Undisputed Era will be, before 2019 is done, will all be draped in gold. Damn. What's your take on that?
Okay.
With that said, ladies and gentlemen, that'll be the end of our video. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Hit the subscribe button, like the content right there, and hit that notification bell right here if you want to see another episode of the Heavens Monsters Podcast. I'm SergDragon. This is T-Money. We'll see you next time. Peace out.
Bye.
Yeah.